Ready.
Welcome to episode 66 of the Go Get 'em Agility podcast. My name is Margaret and I'm your host. And I'm doing another What's the Difference? What's the difference between leave it and not yet? This is pretty important to me because there's a big difference between leave it and not yet, even though the subtleties of it may not be terribly obvious. So definitely want to know why I want a not yet versus a leave it. So let me just define both of them. So a leave it in my world, the way that I want my dog to understand a leave it, is that you will never touch, smell, ideally not even look at a leave it. A leave it to me is dead, dangerous, poisonous, something really disgusting that I never want my dog to touch or consume. A not yet is something that my dog will eventually eat or take, a toy or food. So the difference is, in my view, the difference is quite stark. One, you will never touch it. The other, you'll touch it in 30 seconds or a minute or less. And so I use not yet a ton in my agility training. I have it for loaded target plates. I have it for a pre-placed toy. Any sort of pre-placed item that my dog will eventually get is a not yet. And you can call it whatever you want, but I wouldn't call it a leave it if you've already established a leave it means don't touch. So when dogs are trained on leave it, if you do it well, if you do it correctly, then you'll actively see the dog look away and actively avoid the leave it. They will bypass it with a big arc to not touch it, to pretend that it's not there. That's essentially what I see in their mind, is that they have been taught never to touch it, that it will never be theirs, and so they actively avoid it like it's on fire, right? They will walk quite a ways away from it. They will avert their eyes. They will actively pretend that it doesn't exist, or they'll ignore it. A not yet, I want my dog to track it. I want them to know where it's at. I want them to be able to drive back to it. So in my world, there's quite a difference between a leave it and a not yet. And training that, in my opinion, is really, really important to help the dog understand that you will get a not yet, just not yet. Whereas a leave it, you might as well pretend it doesn't exist, because you'll never get it. I will never give you permission to go back and consume it or grab it or take it. So I think a not yet is really good for agility, and I never use a leave it in agility. Not unless a dog's vomited on the agility floor and I need them to leave it. So vomit would be a good reason to say leave it, but a preloaded target plate is not a good reason to say leave it. So I think it's important to separate them. I think it's great to train both, and just understand that one, we're trying to teach the dog to drive to a target, and the other one, we're teaching them to actively leave it alone forever. Forever. They will never, ever get it. A not yet is 30, 40, 50 seconds or less, and they'll get it. A leave it is forever. So big difference in my world, and I think the dogs deserve to have two separate words. I think it helps them and gives them clarity on when they're allowed to get something and when they're not. Happy training. Woof woof.
Ready.